Fleeing war and persecution, refugees often face discrimination and limited access to basic needs in their temporary homes. Now, in Malaysia, over 180,000 refugees are registered with the United Nations High Commissioner. Heidy Quah from Refuge For The Refugees highlights their dire situation and explores solutions to improve their lives.
So I think the refugee situation has not improved very much in Malaysia. There's still a lot of xenophobic sentiments channeled towards the refugee community. More than ever, we've been seeing just cyberbullying and attacks, made towards the refugee community online. On TikTok, it is especially bad, as well as on Twitter, sometimes on Instagram, sometimes on Facebook. But it is really concerning how, there is still a lot of xenophobic sentiments channeled towards the refugee community. But I think, it's really important for people to get to know the refugee community as fellow human beings, right? So can we maybe explore ways where we can have conversations within a safe space, respectful conversations and discourse? Can we explore exchange through meals and cultures and traditions? I think, in order for us to shift the perception that people have towards refugees, we need to find ways for us to better understand one another, whether it through food, through cultural exchange, through conversations, through interactions with one another.
Heidy also highlighted the situations in Gaza and Ukraine to underscore the urgent need to provide protection for refugees who are often victims of war and displacement.
We can't be angered about what's happening in Gaza and Ukraine if we treat refugees poorly here in Malaysia. I mean, refugees in Malaysia are the byproduct of war that's happening in Gaza at the moment, right? Refugees in Malaysia are the byproduct of war that's happening in Ukraine and across the world. And what's happening across the world is horrifying, right? And if we can stand with it and say that, what's happening is absolutely horrifying and we need to stand with people who have been victims of war, this means that we need to stand with the refugees here in the country as well. I mean, this is what I strongly believe in. I'm not saying that grant them, PR and ICs and everything, but we need to treat them and with respect and give them access to basic human rights, because that is the core of every human being. I was recently at a refugee event, for just commemorating the leading up to World Refugee Day. And all the songs sang by refugees on stage had meanings of wanting to go home. Not about wanting to be resettled to the US, but it's about wanting to go home, right? So I think the misconception that people need to kind of fully understand is that refugees don't have a choice to be in Malaysia. And while they're here in Malaysia, they don't want, I think the second misconception is also refugees are here hoping to get support from the government, hoping to get support from UNHCR. They don't want to work, but actually they do. And they tell us that I want to work. I want to contribute towards Malaysia. I want to donate blood. I want to be involved in Gotong Royong, right? I want to help build Malaysia because Malaysia has been so kind to me. And while Malaysia is temporary home for now, how can I give back to a country that's been kind to me? So if I can work, I want to be able to pay taxes as well.